Text-only travel nodes are boring. But the Obsidian team just posted a solution, and sorta nobody knows it yet. The new Basis Map View lets you put your geographical nodes on an interactive map. It's fast, customizable, can be added to other nodes, and makes your nodes actually visual. Setting this up is actually really easy. So let's do that in the next 9 minutes. To actually start things off from scratch, here in my vault, I got a folder called Travel Nodes with a subfolder called Zurich. First things first, you gotta install the community plugin that is actually made by the Obsidian team themselves, which is called Maps. Again, so unknown that even if you search for maps, it's not even the first search result and only has 1,000 downloads. But again, here by the official Obsidian team. And yeah, then just click install and enable. Now after having done that, let's close this window and actually create a new basis file. So right click and then new base. So having successfully installed that plugin, we can just close this window and now right click our file view and click on new base. Let's first rename this base to Zurich Map View. And now inside of this base view, go to the top left and under table, extend the entire thing and then rename the specific view to Map View. And then under layout, actually switch to the newly appeared map type. Whoa, okay. Now, before doing anything else, I would immediately go to the filters tab. And in general, just if all of this looks very foreign to you, I can highly recommend first maybe watching my 4-minute tutorial on how to build this basis book view, which you can check out right there. So again, coming back here, I would first add a filter actually, which says that for this view, all the following are true, where folder path is, and then I'm just gonna locate travel nodes Zurich. So now this base will only include all the files we have within our subdirectory in travel nodes, which is Zurich, which is exactly what we want. Now, the next step would actually be to somehow get this map to look at Zurich. Okay, so now the next step would actually to just get this map to look at Zurich. The simplest way of achieving that is actually to just, travel there now by hand. I'm just gonna drag this map to Switzerland. There's we can already see Zurich, and I'm just gonna zoom in a bit here. Always make sure that Zurich is in the center. Yeah, that's good. So now this is the kind of view I want because that's the area where I've actually been to. But if I would reopen this base right now, it would immediately start at the default position again. To fix that, actually right click this base and then click on set default center point. Additionally, right click again and also click on set default zoom. So what this does is not only does it save the coordinates to get back at this exact place, but also the zoom level. All right, and how do we actually get our nodes to be these styled awesome waypoints in this view now? Well, it's actually quite simple. First, regarding the ETH, I'm just gonna locate it on this map. Yeah, I found it. This is the ETH Zurich. So what I'm gonna do now is right click and then click on copy coordinates. So it's very important that you always get the coordinates of the waypoint that you want to add to this view. And now let's actually go inside our ETH Zurich main campus node. And now to actually display this thing, we need to add properties. Properties meaning we need to add a front matter. We do that by literally just doing 3 dash signs, and then immediately our properties window should appear. So now for the property name, we actually type in coordinates, but you could also name it some other way, but I would recommend naming it like you're using it because that's more handy. Now we're going to change the coordinates, actually click on the 3 lines here, go to property type and click on list so that we can add multiple coordinates. And now in this value field, we're going to paste our coordinates that we copied previously from the interactive map. And then we're going to delete the longitude, so the second part, and also remove the comma, press enter to add the first coordinates to the list, and then paste our thing again, but this time only the longitude. Nice. Now, if this is generally not the view you're seeing, or in general, this seemed sort of hard to do, you can always go to the settings, then to editor, and then under the tab display, properties and document, you can go to visible and change it to source. In general, I think both approaches have their advantages and disadvantages for making these kinds of nodes. So now let's actually add a rating, give it the number type and give this place an 8. Then you can also add an icon. So I'm going to create an icon property and give it the name school. You're going to see where this actually gets implemented later, but just know that these icons are pulled from Lucide. So if I type in school there, it will actually use this icon. Then we can also add a color property to adjust the color of the waypoint that will be marked on the map. So color, and then I'm gonna enter purple in the value field. And yeah, now let's actually make sure this is being displayed. So let's go back to our Zurich map view. And as we can see, it's not displayed yet. This is because we still need to like set an essential setting. Again, under like the top left map view, extended, and then under markers, you're gonna have these selection boxes for the marker coordinates. So for this, we're actually gonna use the coordinates property we used. You can see it already appeared. Then for the marker icons, we're gonna use the icon property. And for the marker color, we can use the color property. And now we can see this actually worked. Okay, this is already pretty awesome, but our properties aren't actually being displayed when hovering over the waypoint. And also I want to add a bit more properties. So let's go back and also add a description property. And I'm just gonna write this in here. And then I'm also gonna add a property I'm gonna call last visited, which, okay, somehow this is already part of my vault. So if you don't have the date type selected yet, click on the left, then on property type, then on date. And now here you can choose your date. So I think this was like a few days ago, like on Monday-ish. So here. And now coming back to our Zurich map view, we're actually gonna go to the top right and under properties, make sure that we can display the kind of properties that we want to display. So last visited, rating, and description are things we want to display. And now when we hover over it, we see it actually displays the information, but it's still not ordered right. So let's go back to properties because I actually want the description, like hover over the icon here and then you can grab it. And I'm actually going to put the description at the top and then I want to see the rating. So now if I hover over it again, this is much better in my opinion. Now before adding our other nodes, I want to further customize this view. So again, go to the top left, then extend this menu and under display, I'm actually going to set the maximum zoom a bit lower and the minimum zoom a bit higher, like 13 and 15. This actually resulting in me not really being able to zoom out that far if I want to actually go like put this into a bigger geographical context. But also I can't really zoom that far in. But also as like a pro tip, you can also extend the background option and now add something called the map tiles. So here you can actually add a link, for example, this one, like tiles.openfreemap.org/style/dark. And this will actually change the style and appearance of your map. Pretty cool, right? Two other free styles include the positron, like positron, enter, like this, also kind of clean, and liberty, like this is sort of 3D. So I'm going to remove that again. And now I'm actually going to paste like the fitting content for my other two location nodes. So for this, I'm actually going to change like in editor, the thing, like the properties in document to source again. And now into Lindenhof, I will actually like paste this. And into number one place to feed ducks, I will paste this. Note that I've actually added a new property here called links, where I actually link to my ducks node, which I have in my animals folder. And now going back to the Zurich map view, we can actually see that all of these things have been added, but also for the number one place to feed ducks, we actually haven't added the links property yet. So I'm gonna click on links here to actually make it display. And now if I hover over like the number one place to feed ducks, there's going to be the link to ducks. So I could immediately open my ducks node through this interactive view. Now with all bases, you can always embed this view in another node. So if I now make a new node, which is like my trip to Zurich, which is like a diary entry that I might be like gonna add to like my diary, there I can create a link to the Zurich map view.base and then add like an exclamation mark before this link, and bam, it is actually added in my node. So I could write awesome thoughts here and also here, or insert images again, which again can yield to like very, very awesome nodes. But also if like the map embed is actually not like big enough for some reason, you can always go to your Zurich map view, then under the view settings by extending it again and increase the embed height to like 600, for example. And now if we go back, this map embed is actually bigger. I mean, yeah, that's literally it. That's how you build an interactive map view. But you know, there are so many other cool plugins. For example, the notebook navigator to like upgrade your file view. So if you want to find out how to actually install that one, just check out this video right here. Bye guys.